Victor Hugo once said, "Music expresses that which cannot be put into words and that which cannot remain silent." In some magical way, music is a universal language that transcends boundaries, comforting us in times of sorrow, uplifting us in moments of celebration, and giving us a profound connection to our emotions. Music can help us relax in a yoga class, study for an upcoming test, or upgrade our gym session. But why does it have such a huge impact on our lives? In this video, I am going to answer this question and hopefully sharpen your understanding of music. Let's begin. So first of all, what is music? Take a second to think about this question and answer it in your way. For some, music may be a way to escape the world, and for others to relate to other people. For some, it is a lifestyle, and for others, it's a rare pleasure. But let's all agree that music can be defined as the artistic arrangement of sounds that produces a blend of structure, harmony, melody, and rhythm. A controversial question that often surrounds the topic of music is its origins. To this day, the origins of music are unknown and difficult to understand. It is also debated by many scholars whether music emerged before, after, or concurrently with language. The history of music dates back to the Old Stone Age. In fact, archaeological evidence indicates that humans have used musical instruments since at least 40,000 years ago and possibly even earlier. During the prehistoric period, people made flutes out of animal bones to enjoy music. Later, in prehistoric Egypt, people extended their understanding of music and exceeded in singing, playing ritual temple music, playing harps, flutes, clappers, drums, and many other instruments. In ancient Greece, music held a significant role in shaping social and cultural experiences. It stood as a fundamental subject in the education of children, with a belief that musical instruction played a crucial role in fostering the development of an individual's soul. Within Greek theater, musicians and singers occupied prominent positions, and individuals who received musical education were regarded as noble and in ideal accord. In the medieval era, religious themes dominated musical compositions, with Gregorian chants and liturgical music prevailing. Monasteries and churches served as hubs for musical innovation, and the notation system began to take shape, allowing for the preservation and dissemination of musical works. The Renaissance period witnessed a revival of interest in classical arts and a surge of creativity in music. Polyphony flourished, with composers like Josquin des Prez and Palestrina contributing to the rich tapestry of choral music. The invention of the printing press played a pivotal role in making music more widely accessible, fostering a cultural shift as musical knowledge spread beyond ecclesiastical circles. The Baroque era featured elaborate and emotional music with lots of fancy decorations, while the Classical era emphasized clarity, balance, and structured forms, leading to a more transparent and refined musical style. The Romantic period in music, spanning roughly from the early 19th century to the early 20th century, was marked by an emphasis on emotional expression, individualism, and a departure from the formal structures of the Classical era, featuring rich harmonies, expanded tonality, and a focus on programmatic content and nationalistic themes. The music of the 20th century saw a vast variety of genres, singers, and composers, starting from the legendary Elvis Presley and ending with the famous Kurt Cobain. And now, the current music is mostly composed of pop, rap, and rock. Many may argue that the music of the 21st century is the worst in the history of music, and I can't honestly disagree with this. Now that we've understood the history of music, it's time to learn why we even like it. One prominent theory is that music asserts its effects through influencing emotions. To back up this idea, a crew from McGill University in Canada, led by cognitive neuroscientist Robert Zatorre, dug into the enjoyable side of listening to music. Their study showed that experiencing strong emotions through music can be rewarding all on its own, even without a physical reward or a specific functional goal. In a later study, the same group evidenced anatomically distinct dopamine release during pleasurable music listening. This may explain why we like music, but it doesn't explain why we developed this liking in the first place. Typically, our brains release dopamine during behavior that's essential to survival. For example, eating. This makes sense, since it's an adaptation that encourages us to do more of these behaviors, although music is not essential in the same way. But somehow, music engages the same reward system, even though it is not biologically necessary for survival. One possibility is that our enjoyment of music is tied to our affinity for patterns. It's like we evolved to pick up on patterns because it's a crucial survival skill. For example, we panic when we smell smoke because there might be a fire. This crucial act is part of picking up on patterns for survival. When we listen to music, our brains always predict what melodies, harmonies, and rhythms might come next. If I hear a chord progression with certain chords, chances are I can predict the next chord based on my past musical experiences. It's all about anticipating the patterns. That's why we often aren't fans of music styles we're not familiar with. Without prior exposure, we lack the ability to predict the patterns, and that makes the music less engaging, and it can even sound like random noise. And that's it for today, guys. I hope you liked this video and wouldn't mind subscribing to my channel to get updates on new videos. See you next time.